Hello, this is Rebirth of Legend here, doing a replay analysis. So, question asked is AM versus Axe impossible? The short answer is no, but it sucks. So the game referenced here was Faceless versus TNC Pro. I don't know if I don't watch a whole lot of pro games, but I did watch this one. I did watch this one live. I woke up and Black was already 1-4, so I missed the early game. So I'm gonna watch this and just see how he played the early game. So in general, just to give like the kind of the outline of what you have to do, is Axe is kind of fucking weird. Like with a lot of heroes, you want to trade with them when they're in like a creep wave, and obviously you don't do that against an Axe, so you get called and fucked up. So what you want to do is constantly aggro his creeps to you while staying away from the creep wave. And anytime he walks into lane, or anytime he runs at you where he's not near your creeps, like so he's not going to be getting extra procs, you can actually trade mana break hits with him to keep his mana below Berserker's Call range. Now the big thing that Nuts kind of works for it. So here's the thing. AM can 1v1 an Axe, and he can go break even for a while. But what you really want to do, the problem is... Okay, well, I'm going to talk while we're watching this. It doesn't really matter. So here's the problem when you do AM versus Axe. So this Axe is probably going to go offline. AM's going to be here. AM can play break even in lane, but a good Axe player is going to mix in jungling these two camps in between it. He's basically just going to creep cut you non-stop, so you're CSing under tower. A decent AM shouldn't struggle CSing under tower. I know he doesn't buy a poor man's shield this game, which is kind of weird against a Wind Ranger. But yeah, like a good anti-mage shouldn't really struggle CSing under tower. The problem is that the Axe is going to get a lot more relative to the lane if he's playing well and getting these in between the waves, and he's uncontested. What they really need is key rotations on this Axe to put him in his place. Otherwise, he's going to have an obscene Vanguard and obscene blink timing. Now, since this is being played at obviously the highest level of Dota, right? Well, it's Southeast Asian teams, so I guess I'm using that term kind of generously, but yeah, like this game played at obviously a relatively high skill level. So you know the Axe is going to know how to utilize a jungle and lane, and you know the AM should know how to roughly play the lane. Particularly it's Black, probably one of the best anti-mages in the world, although this game, from what I saw, wouldn't make you believe that. So to start off with the Witch Doctor here, the Witch Doctor should be able to zone him a little bit, but he has really high base regen, so it's kind of rough. As long as the aim gets like a good initial start, he can finish his Quelling Blade. He gets Quelling Blade. His lane gets a lot easier. If you're in a straight 1v1, it's definitely way more difficult. Because when this Axe is able to just get bold from the get-go, it's really hard. Because you need a level of mana break and blink to like actually play it safely. And what really sucks is like when you're trading with him, there is a big element of luck. Because you could just be in a 1v1, you attack him twice, he spins on you twice and takes like a third of your HP pool, which really like if I had that happen in games, it loses me the fucking lane. But it's really annoying. So you can get really unlucky and basically kind of lose the lane. Or like lose the trade very unfavorably. Particularly if you're in the 1v1 and you get unlucky and there's nothing else to stop him from bothering you. It's really bad. He's got a lot of regen, so he opens up with the boots because he's getting a pretty free lane. What speed am I at here? This seems a little slow. Yeah, honestly, this lane's going pretty well for him. Like this is honestly where he should be struggling the most, and this Axe is getting zoned out pretty. Yeah, the Axe is level 1. He's level 3. He should be having like a pretty decent game. Don't get me wrong. Like when your support leaves the lane, like around in this game, it's probably like 5 or 6 minutes that Nuts is just gonna leave. He can be annoying, but he's not like as problematic as you'd think. As long as like he has so much regen where if he just went for like if he goes for Ring of Health next and then treads, like he'll have no problem trading with the Axe just because he has Ring of Health plus like a Tango and Salve regen. So like even if you get unlucky in the trades, like you'll have enough regen to where it's not going to kick you out of lane. So maybe he gets really greedy here and he goes for like treads before getting a ring of health, and then like loses an unfavorable trade and loses like a lot of his regen, and maybe that happens like twice or something. But overall, I think like this lane's going like about as well as he could want. I mean, fuck, dude, it's amazing when you're able to zone out an axe with just a single support being dedicated to that. That's really good. And you get a couple of levels of Maledict, and that axe is fucking food, too. So, like, here's the thing that's, like, very important. Here's the thing that's, like, very important to, like, realize. This Witch Doctor sacrificed everything to give this axe... Oh, okay, so he's level 2. I thought he was still level 1, because I just looked at his skill points. This Witch Doctor sacrificed a lot. He's only, like, 2 1/3 or whatever. While AM's almost level 5, which is really important. The AM should always be getting as much experience as possible, because that's going to let him deal with a more difficult lane like an axe or something. So, like, for example, because he needs the levels to like transition into the jungle and do other things. So yeah, he gets the treads first, and I feel like this is where we're going to see that fuck up I was talking about. He's in a creep wave right now, where if you trade and you get called here, you can get really unlucky with some spins, and you're going to waste a lot of your regen. But he's going to be really tempted to like harass him here. Oh, he makes the good call and doesn't do it. Okay, that's good. Let's go back to player perspective. See what the fuck he does. Because I don't see how, like... I mean, I guess it's some really good smokes or something, or his team's not communicating, or he's not paying attention, because I don't know how he fucking dies 4 times. Or I guess that was pretty late in the game when I tuned in. Because he's, like, well on his way to, like, a well-timed Battle Fury. I don't like that he didn't get a poor man's shield. Yeah, okay. This might be where it happens. Probably gonna get the kill. No, it doesn't get the kill. Alright, so you'll see what I mean here. So he lost half his HP there, didn't get the kill on that guy. I mean, that Axe played it really well by getting his TP out, knowing the AM doesn't have 6. Played it well. That cost him a really high amount of tangos and a salve. So now, like, if he makes those trades in the future, he only has, like, 2 tangos to supplement his Ring of Health regen when he gets it. So it's really awkward. So you need to, like, predict when you're going to be in a situation. And like, when I say predict, I mean, like, if I think there's a likelihood of a trade happening where I'd want to have the extra regen to, like, recover after the trade, then I rush the early Ring of Health. Rushing the treads is, like, really greedy, and it can pay off, but not even the way, like, he's playing. Like, he should have the treads and be, like, jungling this, but he's not. See, we're doing another trade here. And he didn't get unlucky with spins there, he's got the Ring of Health, so he's fine. But, like, let's say that, like, guy, like, procced, like, 2 or 3 spins. Like, fuck, that hurts so much. And he'd probably have to pop another tango. And you're down to just 1 tango left. Which like, we're talking 8 minutes in, so that doesn't seem like as bad as it is. But, like, what's gonna happen is, like, Black should start utilizing these camps to, like, really get the most out of his treads rush. And if you're not utilizing those camps, there's no reason to really rush the treads to begin with. But when you utilize those camps, it also costs you regen to do that. Your Ring of Health alone will not be enough to survive that stacked hard camp right now. Because that stacked hard camp has an Ogre camp, which fucking sucks, and a Troll camp, which fucking sucks. So to kill that will cost him, like, a fair amount of HP. Even if you pull it to, like, the max aggro range, it's still gonna fucking hurt to kill. And, like, right now he's a free lane, he's not pushing out. I don't understand why. You've been left alone for, like, a few minutes now. Oh, we're gonna get a kill here? Oh, yeah, we are. Nice. That's a good rotation. Yeah, so yeah, what I was thinking is he was gonna be kind of, like, left alone, but this isn't... I guess I'm like another one after this, showing a game where I play where I was left 1v1 versus an Axe, and the Axe won the lane because he was like a 6k Axe player or something like that. Oh, that sucks. That's an loser right there. Okay, let's see if he should have been fucking aware of this right now, because that kind of sucks. All right, how long have people been missing for? Oh, that Wind Ranger plays it good. I think she just gets the rune and TPs. Yeah. Did they know, though? Did they know? Let's see. Did we know? How much am I going to criticize pro players right now? That's the real fucking question. It's too late. He's already dead. I don't know. See, that really sucks right there. I won't entirely blame him for that, but what I will say is, it sounds stupid, but a poor man's shield might have saved him there. Let's go back and I'll explain why. So let's look at the Wind Ranger perspective here. Nails the shackle, puts on an ult. He almost survived the taunt, right? I'm pretty sure he came very close to surviving the taunt. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna explain why the poor man's shield would have been helpful there. So let's look at what each thing fucking does here. Stout Shield gives you 16 block on a 50% chance. Poor man's Shield is a 20 damage block on a 100% chance against heroes. That's going to increase your blocking by... I'm too lazy to do this right now, but it's probably almost like 120% efficiency, I'd say. It may be 125% more block. So it's really actually very important against a Wind Ranger, because when she ults, she has a 50% damage reduction. So the Wind Ranger is has phase boots, right? And she's got 2 null talismans, but her damage dropped down to below 80 here. It was 77 damage. So if we calculate that with a poor man's shield, or with a stout shield, he's blocking an average of 8 damage per attack versus 20. So 8 damage off of 77 is a little over 10% block, and 20% is, or 20 damage is over 25% block. So you're talking you're blocking over triple the damage, and it's also giving Anti-Mage 1 more armor. So not picking up the poor man's shield actually killed him there. Can we look at the fight recap? What's the damage she put out? 361. So you could say probably would have blocked at least 100 damage there, right? Oh wait, hold on. This is fucking... That's fucked up. This damage is not right. There's no way she only did 110 damage there. Oh, that's a gold change. I'm fucking dumb. Okay, there we go. 621 damage. I wish it told me how many auto attacks there were. But like we said, we were blocking an average of 8 versus an average of 20. And that's probably at least 15 auto attacks we saw there. So that's, if you do the math there, that's 300 HP that the PMS would have blocked, and 8 times 15 is 30, 60, 120. So you're talking about 180 extra HP he would have had. I'd say he almost 100% lives there if he had a poor man's shield. You could say like maybe it wouldn't be necessary in the lane itself. Against an axe, yeah, whatever, you know. But like if you know that there's a chance of a Wind Ranger going on you until you have like a Vanguard basically, then yeah, it's completely worth getting the poor man's shield. It helps you with your jungling, it helps you with your laning, it helps with a lot of things. So yeah, that kill's kind of rough, and like I'm not going to say you could have predicted that movement necessarily. I don't know what his team's communication was like, if they knew that he had the Invis rune. He wasn't missing from mid for very long, so you can't really... I wouldn't say you can really hold that against Black or his team for not calling that out. Because you gotta keep in mind, he TP'd from mid, went Invis, and then like did his thing. But like one thing that could have helped him with that, just to like also play devil's advocate on how it could be Black's fault. Remember how I said he wasn't really utilizing his lane like particularly well? Like Black has 68 creeps and 37 denies at 10 minutes. That's a fuck ton of denies. No one's gonna say that is not a fuck ton of denies, right? That is lane control at its finest. The only problem with that is he did that to sacrifice what this axe would get, right? So he's sacrificing how far how far ahead he is. To keep this axe down. And this axe really isn't down because he can just jungle, so it's really not that bad for the axe necessarily, and the axe is only like 2 levels, not even, like a level and a half behind him. And the other thing is, if you're pushing that wave like constantly, fuck, we're going on player perspective for this. Like if you're pushing this wave constantly, maybe you see that TPN. Also, if this ward was here, this ward's fucking garbage. If this ward was here, sorry, this ward catches, like, lane rotations, I guess. This one does, too, but this one also catches the TPN. So if... What's the time on this ward? Yeah, it would have been up when he was there. So, like, if that ward was here, it would have caught the blue TPN. Like, you'd see the TP, even if it goes invis right after, he would have seen it and known that that would have happened. So you said it's bad warding and bad too much lane control, I guess is the way you'd put it. But yeah. Alright, let's accelerate this. Alright, and he gets nailed by the first blink and dies. Let's back up and see if this was predictable. This is the kind of gank I'd get fucking caught by, honestly. I'd play like a fucking idiot, and I really shouldn't. Alright, yeah, that's kind of rough. So, that's like another gank where if that ward was here, he doesn't get hit by it. They weren't, I'm pretty sure they weren't smoked there. Let's see. Oh no, he has a smoke. Maybe they are smoked. Okay, yeah, they are smoked for this. Yeah, here's where I'd probably just be jungling. No, I wouldn't be jungling here. I would have gotten caught by this. Okay, yeah, they were smoked, so... Oh, wait, no, they weren't smoked. He still has a smoke in his fucking inventory. Hold on. Hold on, I'm going back. Okay, no, they were smoked. They just had 2 smokes. Alright, yeah, it was a CM smoke. Yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. I just thought Black... Or the Axe bought the smoke and everything. Yeah, okay. So, just to reassess this, he utilized lane control in order to try and shut down the Axe. Axe still has a 12-minute blink dagger and Tranks. That only offset him by... If an Axe was straight jungling, he can have a blink tranquils in under 10 minutes. So he really only put him back maybe 2 minutes, while he put himself back really far. He's probably dead here no matter what. That was a really hard gank to avoid, but you can make the argument that if he didn't get hit by the first gank, that he might be fine there. This really sucks. He was having a pretty decent game, and those 2 deaths kind of put him back. He still might have like a 15-minute Battlefield treads. It's not unreasonable if he doesn't die again. And that's definitely workable, but he went from what probably would have been about 12 or 13 minutes to 15 minutes, which is kind of shitty. By definition, right? So you see him here, he's prioritizing lane creeps, which is smart. You want to get the lane pushed, plus the jungle's respawning anyway. He probably could have killed that ogre camp if he wanted, but he would have missed those 4 creeps in lane. So he made the correct value decision to prioritize the lane. Here he's worried he could be getting ganked again, which he's right about. He's trying to bait it for his team right now. Because as you see, only purple's showing, which is the Nyx assassin. So his team was trying to be there to counter for him with the tiny. Oh, there it is. The question is, like, what sucks here? Okay, that's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. Alright, he needs to just go back to farming and stop looking for this kill right now, because that kill's fucking gone. Alright. That's really good. So that's the type of play you want to do. If you know they're really trying to aggress on your AM, you just smoke behind, like, him, and you wait for them to, like, do the jump, and then you counter. Because an AM is really... It's pretty hard to kill, and he's a pretty tanky hero. So it's, it can be good to punish those kills, and that'll help accelerate the AM and put him back in a game if he's constantly being punished like that. So they played that really well. What can be bad if you're the AM in that situation is if they have like a really high capacity to burst you. If they have that really high capacity to burst you, the bait might succeed, and like they might trade like 3 for 1. But if you're the one, that still really hurts you as an anti-mage. He's being like really aggressive right now. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for going for those kills, but it's like a risk-reward thing. Unless they had detection, the odds of getting that Nyx kill isn't very high, right? Because clearly the Nyx had Vendetta, and they should be aware of that. I guess why would he be in my jungle without Vendetta? But whatever. So he's got the Battle Fury done, talking about 16 minutes. That's an okay timing. That's right on the cusp of being late. If you're getting it after 17, that's pretty bad. 14, below 14 is good. 14 to 16 is middling. So he's still having an okay game. He's still pretty high on farm. And yeah, so he's doing okay. Now's the really key part where Black can't afford to get picked off because he really needs to accelerate his farm right now. So we're going to see if he's actually able to do that. That sucks. You just watch his support die. You just got to keep moving. You see them all in middle. You should be pushing top really hard right now, which he's doing. He's not doing. And he walks into the rotation. Okay. So that actually went really well for them, but that was a lot of time he wasn't farming. So obviously there's more to the game than just hitting creeps. I don't mean it to sound like that's the end-all be-all of playing anti-mage, but it's important to realize that even though those things are going really well, it has a very high cost for anti-mage. Anytime anti-mage isn't farming at this point in the game is like 1,200 gold a minute, basically. So every minute he's not farming is a 1,200 gold opportunity cost. So he really didn't get that much gold in that fight because it was Jabs getting all the kills. So that fight that lasted probably about a minute or so, because it was really protracted, it dragged all over the jungle, ended near their tier 1. Probably didn't net him as much as if he were just creeping, but overall it helped his team. But you have to acknowledge, or you have to be able to understand that even though it helps his team, it doesn't necessarily help him in the things he needs to do. So he's rushing for the Manta here. That's fine. The thing is, like, here'd be what I'd say in a pub game, okay? Because there's a difference between pub and pro games. In a pub game, there's a high probability of you being able to trade with that axe when the axe goes on you by himself, just hoping for some stupid amount of spins. In this game, that axe is not going on you by himself. That axe is almost always going to have someone else with him. So if you have the Vlads, it probably won't save you, and it won't let you out-trade the axe in the call. The Vlads would also help you trade with the Slark if you're pushing, but once again, that's in pubs where the Slark might be alone and you'd be able to blink aggressively on him. I don't think that situation is going to be as prevalent in a professional game. So while I think in a game like this I might advocate getting a Vlads, if you're worried about just getting jumped by an axe, and the axe is really your only threat, the Vlads is really good to counteract that. But in a professional game in this environment, I think it's correct not to go for the Vlads. So he's doing the right thing. Oh, he's going to the fight now. Oh, I feel like this is gonna go south for him. Is he already 1 and 4 here? Is this where he tuned in last time? 1 and 2. Is this where he tuned in last time? I want to say that, what's his name, had way more kills. Okay, so that's another thing to look at. He could have kept split pushing there, and like when he TP'd in, really nothing else happened. I don't think his TP discouraged the fight necessarily. I think he came in there to try and get kills in a fight that really wasn't materializing. It was like 2 pickoffs, and then it was over. Yeah, so it was like 2 pickoffs, and then it was kind of over. So he TP'd in basically for no reason. That's time he could have spent pushing bottom, and those are definitely tough calls. Like, you don't want to always leave your team to hung out to dry. Yeah, I mean, this was just kind of stupid. So how long ago did this fight end? I guess we have okay jungle vision here. He sees one coming up through the woods, but you see that guy beelining for you right now. Does he know he can see him, or is he shadow bladed? Okay. Did we run over a sentry? How the fuck were we able to see this? Hold on. I need to look at something here. Alright, Black's fucking retarded. I think that was his team pinging him. This is the sign that you know you're getting ganked, okay? I'm gonna teach you guys a valuable fucking lesson here. So he's got a ward here, and you've got a ward here. So you think you have okay vision in your woods, right? You see a Slark beelining for you right now. And you might not know he's beelining for you until right now, but you know he's going into your woods. And odds are, he's probably not going there alone. You're a fucking professional player. You should know this guy's not going into the woods alone. Right now you can think the Slark might just be looking for a solo pickoff. And we're going to slow this down. We're going to pinpoint the exact moment where Black should know he fucked up. Okay? Now he knows he fucked up. Oh, okay. Well, that was right as he was getting blinked on, too. If you want to play really safe, as soon as he saw that Slark, he should have been back. The reason why he should know he fucked up here is because this is the exact one where on his minimap, he should have seen this Slark go from here, which is where I'd expect to find a support, to where I am. And that's right as he turned his fucking head is when that's happening. The map is also completely dark. The only thing you know is that they're not responding to this bottom, which means that they have to be somewhere in this area. Yeah, so the enemy has to be somewhere in this area. And your fight did just end over here. They could just be farming out your woods. Admittedly, I probably wouldn't expect them to stick around that long. But, like, he had other options. He could farm this way and reinvest in his split push. Instead, he goes further into this risky zone with no vision. Because, like, he has the vision here, and he has the vision here from the creeps being pushed. So that gives you, like, a good area in which to farm here. But he chooses to go this way, which kills him. As we can see, based off the result. Like, okay, our anti-mage is coming back. Yeah, he's playing like super, like he hasn't even hit 10 creeps a minute yet at like 22 minutes, which is like really slow farm, because he's trying to play really active, and like if you want to play this active, why not just play Juggernaut, right? I mean, I didn't see what was picked or banned, but like I'm using Juggernaut as the example of I want to fight hero, not I want to split push hero. Because he could have taken that tier 2 in that first fight he TP'd back, which then ended up resulting in killing him. So it's just like, it's so many bad decisions that are just compounding. So now he's making his way bottom, but now the vision's kind of gone. But he sees 2 top, and he sees the Slark here. Who's the 2 he sees top? He doesn't have eyes on the Axe, which is the real person he needs to worry about. I don't think you're going to find an Axe here, though. I wouldn't be super worried about finding an Axe here. And he's got the Omni behind him, so he's likely not going to die there. So first he queues up the Basher here, and that's fine. I think I'd go for an Abyssal here and look for some maybe solo kills on a Slark or an Axe or whatever. And let's be clear, like we know they're grouping a lot, right? So this might be why he changed his mind. Since they're grouping, obviously if they're grouped as 5, you're not going to get a solo pick off. But what the Abyssal or a Basher lets you do is, like, let's say you... Okay, so this is another pub versus pro thing. I don't think pros would make this mistake as much as pubs do, but pubs will make this mistake a lot when you're anti-mage. I feel like it's really important to distinguish those two things, because obviously the people watching this video are going to be playing pubs. They're not going to be playing professional games at tournaments for millions of dollars. Getting a Basher in this situation would allow you to push a lane, and like you'll run into times where they'll like arrogantly TP in like a Crystal Maiden, or maybe the Axe, or a Nyx. And when AM has an Abyssal Blade, those people are food. And there's always this weird moment in a game where like their team is like ahead, right? Because the AM game's going like middlingly or poorly, and their team's ahead. But all of a sudden now you've got Manta Abyssal, and you're split pushing, and they TP back someone to deal with your split push while they're grouped in like your jungle or something. And you fucking annihilate that person, and then you keep pushing. And all of a sudden, that team goes into full panic, because now they just lost someone, and their tower is still dying. Now maybe they'll TP back another person. And if you, let's say you just have your Abyssal still and your Manta's still up, that person will die fucking too. Because your Manta's already out, you just surround them with the Manta illusions, and you can easily get 2 kills when teams panic like that, or 1 kill in a tower. And either way, you're stopping their push and their fight here. So that's like, the Abyssal Blade is like such a key item on Anti-Mage that there's very few situations where I say you wouldn't get it after Manta. What he opts for is a Lincoln Sphere after his 4th death. I think he changes up to a Lincoln's. And to explain that rationale, I think they covered it in like the cast a little bit. I think it was... I know OD Pixel asked about it, like why Lincoln's over Ags, and his reason was like, well, maybe he can use it on his teammates. I don't think he cares about his teammates in this game so much as him being able to not fucking die. In that respect, the Ags is probably a little better in this scenario. It's a cheaper investment. It gives you more raw HP. The only thing it doesn't give you is as much regen, but I don't think... if you have the Battle Fury, the regen doesn't really matter. My issue is I'd say that's like a accepting that I lost this game type of item. And the other thing I'd say is, like, since he has the Omni Knight, he's got Repel and Omni Knight, right? So he should be able to get Repelled, blink in Abyssal, and kill someone, and blink out before that Repel wears off. Like, Repel lasts, what's it, 8 seconds? 7 seconds. So he puts it on you, you blink Abyssal, go on someone, you have 2 seconds after that to blink out. Oh, let's see his skill build. Maybe that's... Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, that kind of explains his weird decision. So he got the 1 second off blink cooldown, which really taxes your mana on Anti-Mage. So maybe that's why he chose the Lincolns over it, so he can make sure he always has the mana. That'll also help him against the Nyx, who's going to mana drain him a little bit. So it'll give him more regen versus an Aghanim Scepter. So I think that was probably his rationale. I've done the same thing before, where because I was getting like a Lincoln's or something, and I knew my mana pool was going to be higher and my regen was going to be higher, I could afford the 1 second blink cooldown. Generally, I do not get the 1 second blink cooldown. Just to explain that rationale real quick, I itemize Anti-Mage to solo kill and push as hard as humanly possible. I want to get my solo kills as fast as possible. So when you're looking at your talent tree, 20 damage helps you jungle, and it helps you kill a little bit, and it helps you push. 150 HP, if it prevents you from dying once, that's probably worth it. So if you think 150 HP is going to prevent you from dying, that can be a worthwhile talent to get. The blink cooldown could be okay. The problem you're going to run into is the mana issues that comes down with it, because anyone who's played like Anti-Mage, particularly if you get fast travels and you can't tread switch, you'll notice that you'll actually start running low on mana just by constantly using your blink. By lowering the cooldown on it, you're increasing the amount of mana you're using by basically 20%, because it's going from 5 seconds to 4 seconds, which is allowing you to use it much more frequently. And AM is going to be using his blink literally on cooldown. The 20 attack speed also goes to your illusions, so once again, when it comes to pushing towers, obviously the attack speed is better for that. When it comes to your level 20, you get the 10 stats, because obviously it beefs everything up, it increases your damage, and you're building a butterfly anyway in the huge majority of your games, so you don't need to get 15% evasion, because it's superfluous? Yeah, I think that's the word. At level 25, I don't think a 50 seconds off mana void is really that relevant. Once again, if you're maximizing for solo kills, 25 Agi is a lot more damage, it's a lot more split push, and it's really good. 50 seconds off mana void is not going to help you with an individual pickoff. It could help you get more frequent pickoffs, because it kind of syncs up with your Abyssal Blade a little bit, and your Manta cooldowns, because it's going from 70 to 20 seconds, and your Abyssal's about a 30 second cooldown, your Manta's a 30 second cooldown. So it would sync up to allow you to get more frequent pickoffs, but that one individual pickoff is not necessarily going to be easier. Well, not at all going to be easier. Let's make that clear. It doesn't increase the damage. If it increased the damage and lower the cooldown, it'd probably be okay. Or if it decreased the cooldown a lot. Or it turned into charges. There we go. That'd be good. If it had 2 charges on like 70 seconds, that'd be really good. Probably broken. But yeah, so he transitions to the Manta, or the Lincolns now. So I want to stress what this means. This is, I need to stop dying, and I want to rat more effectively. He's been getting jumped by basically 3 or 4 people every time he dies. Blocking one of those stuns and having a little more stats could very well be enough to save him. So, in my mind, getting the Lincolns, what that's going to allow me to do is, 1, push a lot more aggressively, and be more confident in not dying. Because between a Lincolns and an Omni Repel, it should be very fucking hard to kill an Anti-Mage in those team fights. And when you're split pushing, the Lincoln Sphere is just another thing you have to take into account. In this sense, just for the split push, I'd say the Axe could be better, because it makes them have to consider it a little more, as opposed to just break it with one thing. You can't break it with a shackle shot and then actually just shackle you and your teammate. That's really bad when that gets rebounded. The same can be said for an Impale, which I'm not 100%. I think an Impale does get redirected back, even though it's a ground target, and it doesn't target... even though it's a ground target, it's not a unit target. That's bad. The Frostbite probably wouldn't really matter if you redirect that. Battle Hunger probably wouldn't really matter too much either. But if you could just... if you're trying to just stop one, it's useful, and redirecting some of those other things could be pretty nice. But ultimately, you're mainly going to be getting Blink called, and then the Battle Hunger should be breaking in that, and then he'll be able to follow up with his other things. But it's just one less thing that's going to hurt you and giving you some stats. But, like, this is where he basically loses the game, because I don't know what he was planning on here. So, like I said, once you get this, you're taking away, like, your teamfight potential for higher split push damage. Well, sounds like the game 3 ended. I wonder who won. I didn't really watch, because I was motivated. I was motivated to make this. Okay. So I think in this case he should just... well, now he's just dead again. Is that death 4 or 5? That's 4. Yeah, I started watching maybe like 2 minutes before this. I'm like, oh, they're up and they have an anti-mage and they've got an Omni for that AM. They're pretty good. And they don't have a natural good diffusal carrier. That's going pretty well. But yeah, he didn't buy out, and he saves for his buyback. Okay, this is where fucking Faceless just fell apart. The AM gets picked, and then literally every other hero on their team gets picked. I don't understand what they were doing here. Admittedly, like TNC playing like that aggressive, they ran from here. It doesn't matter what's happening here. They ran from here to here, got another kill, ran to here, got another kill. I think I got another kill here or something, and then dove a tree here. They still have a tier 1 up, and this shit's happening, which is fucking hilarious. It's just so ridiculous that that's what happened there. And like, I understand from both sides, like, come on, you guys shouldn't be dying after Anti-Mage dies. But, like, they died in such ridiculous places because of TNC's movement. I had to respect it. I had to respect it. Oh, that's not the end of the world. He also botches, like, so much fucking... Like, the way Black dies in some of those base fights is really bad. I'll point those out when we get to it. But you'll notice he's just sticking on his team. Like, he just really wants to stop dying. And somehow still can't do it. He stops he's basically... Do they get this? I don't even think they get this. Does he get this? I guess he does. Yeah, so the fight's going on. Black should not be TPing back right now. His whole team should be TPing back. They've got... I guess they don't really have great wave clear. They've got Tiny who can, like, wave clear a bit. But he TPs back here instead of continuing to push bottom. Which might give him a little more information. Or he could safely farm their jungle and then move to his Ancients and then push in mid or something. So notice, like, he blinks here, farms this, and he's just going to back up here, I think. I don't think he continues going. Alright, am I wrong here? Okay, no, see, he backs up again here. So he doesn't see them on the minimap, so that backup is smart. But the problem is, like, now you're not creating pressure anywhere on the map. So he goes back towards mid, he's pushing mid back. Like, I don't really think he crosses the river too much after this point in the game. And we still have, like, 14 minutes left in this. And so he pushes this, he sees the whole team top here, and he blinks back. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not winning plays. He needed to keep pushing, send his Manta Illusions there, and then blink south, and then creep cut bottom, and then maybe maybe TP back to his woods. Like, he's just playing so passively. It's like, how do you expect... Like he has to know his team's kind of behind right now, right? Or you should feel like the flow has been going against you. Like, that's what I meant, I'm sorry. Like, they've lost a lot in a row, and he's just, like, kind of irrelevant. So it's like, why... You should feel like you should be doing more to keep your team in this. Because, like, an AM should be way far ahead, and he's definitely not. Particularly with his items. His items themselves kind of put him behind in what his goals are. So you see him killing your shrines. And once again, he's here, like, push... Like, his team can push this. Like, that's what gets me. His team can push this middle wave. It's not... It shouldn't be a priority for him to always get here and push this middle fucking wave. Like, he has better things to do. So they fight here, and he dies again. I mean, should I criticize how they took that fight wrong? I don't really think I want to. I mean, he blinked kind of aggressively into multiples of them, and even if you have the Lincoln Sphere, you're probably gonna die, I guess. I mean, they were kind of distracted, but like as soon as he blinked in, they kind of just turned and focused him. Yeah. So he's forced to buy here, which puts his Abyssal even further back. This is actually where he's gonna really fucking botch this. Oh wait, no. It's when the Wind Ranger's up here, I'll point out how he played like a complete fucking idiot. Like, they don't have a Diffusal Blade. When he has Repel on him, he's fucking invincible. He can't die when he has the Repel on him. And he, like, fights like a Wind Ranger until the Repel wears off and then gets annihilated. I'm like, what were you planning here, buddy? I don't understand this at all. It's just so weird. So notice, like, he's sitting in the base right now. Like, you see two of them. Like, why are they going to sit here to jump you? You have an Omni behind you right now. Like, how are you not pushing out? He just sits in base so much right now. Like I don't know what your plan is to win a game when you're an AM sitting in your base. Like, the plan just is not there, you know? You're just giving up all map control. Like, here's fine. He shouldn't be playing too scared right there. And his whole team's fucking behind him. Like, dude, honestly, this is totally fine. Just go fight that blue guy or whatever. Doesn't matter. I mean, I guess they really want to take the fight in their base and then fuck it up in their base, but it's just like once again, AM does not need to be here for this right now. Like, you have a TP scroll. Here's my fucking question: if AM, oh, he's switching to a butterfly now. That's an okay idea. We're gonna back up so I can finish my shit talk. So here's my issue: why the fuck do you have a TP scroll in your goddamn inventory if you're not actually going to be in a situation where you have to TP back? Like, would it really matter if he had the shield or the fucking quarterstaff? Probably not. But it's like, the TP's there because he should know what he should be doing. Once again, he's sitting here now without his repel. He should walk away, wait for the repel to come back up. Nuts, is Nuts out of position? I think Nuts might have been a little out of position there. I feel like he wandered around the circle a little bit. And then was barely in range to get gone on there. So he's repelled now. So when he first gets repelled, he can blink on like the Wind Ranger or someone and hope for a bash and then Manta on them. Instead, he doesn't do anything. Oh, this is where it's going to happen. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Okay, so the Wind Ranger's going to come back here. He's going to get repelled. He's going to go up to her. And she's going to wind run. Okay, so he knows his repel's almost off. He needs to back up. Oh. I remember that. Maybe that happens twice, because I remember that going a little differently. But yeah, like, this Wind Ranger's not really necessarily itemized to kill an anti-mage, right? Why does it say we're only 40? This thing's fucked up. Anyway, so to, like, get up on, like, what my real gripe was, like, he bought the Lincolns, which is, like, I need to split push and really not get caught, which is the whole point of that item, particularly in conjunction. And in fights, it's like, I can blink in and be really aggressive, and he wasn't blinking in with the repel here. Like, as soon as this repel goes off, he should be blink manting on the Nyx, or the Crystal Man, it doesn't matter who. You blink Manta on one of them and just kill him. And then, like we said, the repel lasts... He actually has the blink leveled, so blink is 4-second cooldown, repel is 7 seconds. So he can blink Manta and go on someone, and then TP out if he does it right as he gets repelled. Or not TP out, sorry. Well, he could TP out too. But he can blink right back out and with 2 seconds left to spare. Or 3 seconds left to spare. Yeah, there's some time there, we'll say 2. But he's, like, not doing that. So he's just, like, standing here repelled. It's just, like, that doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything at all. This guy's wind run, so you get your next repel on you. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so, I don't know. I don't think he played this game like he wanted to. I think the way he played it is he wanted to win a team fight in base, and then, like, accelerate that into his next item, which would make him play better. But, like... because he tried doing that, every fight is happening on TNC's terms, right? Like, TNC's just sitting as 5, the Faceless is sitting as 5 in their base, and then TNC's waiting for their opportunity to pick off someone stupid like Nuts who's out of position, or the fucking anti-mage who's criminally out of position, or whoever. Like, they just wait for their opportunity to get a kill, and then they kill someone, and then... and there's nothing to make them make a bad decision. Like, an AM pushing, like, a lane or whatever, forces them to make a value judgment on, sorry, it forces them to make a value judgment on, should we force a movement right here, or should we go back and deal with the anti-mage split push? Like, instead of waiting for that pick-off, which while you're sitting just 5-on-5 staring at each other, both teams have the ability to just wait and sit and do whatever, you're not forcing them to take an inopportune moment or to go back and deal with you. And, like, that's why you have a TP scroll, right? You have a TP scroll so you can split push and then come back and deal with things. And he's not doing that. So it really just makes no sense at all. Also, I still think the Abyssal Blade would have been fine. I don't know why he changed his mind. Obviously, the Butterfly is going to help with your survivability against a Wind Ranger, but so is the Abyssal, because it's giving a 70 damage block 50% of the time. Which is going to decrease her damage pretty substantially. Because her right click I don't think is very high. It's probably like 180 or something. That's like 200. 210. So you're blocking like a third of the damage 50% of the time, so that's like a 18% damage reduction from her right clicks, not counting her Mjolnir procs, but her Mjolnir procs shouldn't hurt you a lot because you're a fucking anti-mage. So yeah. I guess to counter-apps that up, I don't think he really played the game to win. And like in a pro game, I'll try and see if maybe I can justify this from a professional game standpoint. Sitting in your base like that to win a team fight might be okay, but I honestly don't see like once again, like, why are you playing anti-mage instead of Juggernaut if you don't want to split push, you know? And there was too many times in this game where he wasn't split pushing effectively. Like I pointed out, when he came back from down here several times, when he chose to push here instead of rotating back down and pressuring their safe lane again. There was just a lot of things he could have done that he didn't. He got himself killed by not laning correctly, or at around 12 minutes, I think, is when that first death happened. Or no, was that 8 minutes? 12? I think 12 minutes was this. No, 12 minutes was the Blink Dagger death. 8 minutes was the first death. The first death could have been fixed by him having a good lane ward or pushing the lane 2 here so he sees that TP. And obviously if the creeps are here, maybe the Wind Ranger doesn't TP there. Maybe she TPs here, but that puts her a little farther back, right? Or maybe she just doesn't go for that kill overall. There's many things that could happen if that creep wave is there. Either the kill doesn't get attempted, the kill originates from a different position that might give you a better chance to live through it. Oh, like I said, in the Poor Man's Shield cost him that death too. That was I don't have a Poor Man's Shield death. Yeah, so we criticized professional players for enough for today. I usually kind of avoid doing that, but I was like half asleep in bed watching this. Because I just like woke up and just turned it on. So I'm like, oh, this shit's on. So I'll check it out. And I just see, like, even from when I tune in, I'm like, what is Black doing? Because like I said, I came in here right when he started queuing up the Lincolns and then didn't play like he had a Lincolns. So yeah, we're gonna end this one here. I'll make another video right now. I'm making another video right now showing laning against an axe. I hope I still have the replay. But that might be pretty useful to look at. So thanks for watching, and hopefully the next one's a little more useful too, for like one-on-one scenarios against an axe.